All right, look, cool deal. We are live. I'm just gonna take a moment to get ready. If y'all ever see me looking down, I'm looking down at this. Hope everyone's doing good. At least stateside, we got Thanksgiving coming up. That's gonna be pretty cool. Uh, Thanksgiving's always been one of my favorite holidays. Uh, Mainly just I really like food, man. Like it's hard to be disappointed by food. Like there have been Christmases where I've been disappointed because you didn't get what you want, or maybe you didn't get a bunch of stuff because times were really tough and we didn't have the money for it or whatever. And God bless your parents for doing what they can and all that. But even as a kid, it's still disappointing. But Thanksgiving was never a disappointment, It doesn't matter if there was a turkey there or not. Potatoes are cheap. Mashed potatoes are my favorite, so Thanksgiving is awesome, and it always is. It's a good time to get together with family. I'm going to be getting together with my wife's family this year, which will be a change of pace. Uh, I'm kind of hoping for better than last year because last year I found out that Northwest Pacific people in the Pacific Northwest, they don't understand the concept of salt and pepper and basic seasoning, I guess. Because I'm not one of these guys who, needs to season like crazy. But, even Gordon Ramsay will tell you, the basics like salt and pepper goes a long fucking way. And, last year I ran into a few dishes that were just, you didn't taste anything. It's just, bleh. It wasn't disgusting, it just was no tasteless, would be the right word. Just bland. Like mashed potatoes without salt and pepper is just, I don't know how people do it. I feel like it's a crime against nature to have mashed potatoes with no salt and pepper, but that's just me. Like, if you don't see those little fucking black pepper flakes in there, then you don't have enough. That's always been my mantra, at least. Let's see what my timer is on here. Um, I think I need to do this up. Alright, there we go. I got it cleaned out. The thing that really sucks with these damn with doing dabs is that unlike weed, like this shit collects like in little fucking balls. And it keeps clogging up uh, the tube that goes down here. That's why you see me sucking like I'm trying to get the chrome off a fucking trailer hitch, a ball hitch, whatever. Anyways, just wanted to hang out and smoke after work, chill with you guys for a bit. Things are going good. About wrapped up everything with the book. Just holiday stuff. My father-in-law came into town over the weekend. So I had to dedicate a lot of my time to kind of spending time with him and the wife and stuff, which my father-in-law is actually pretty cool. I like him. Um, I know some folks have issues with their in-laws, uh, but I don't. I like my father-in-law. He's a pretty cool guy. Him and I would sat and talked for a while. He seems to like me. I think at one point, because him and I had spoken long ago, and he kind of sat me down and he was like, he's like, "What do you want with my daughter?" and everything like that. But at that point, we were already married and everything, and I just told him straight up, I just love her, and I want to make her happy, and that's all he needed to hear to like me. So, which is a good thing. It's always good when you can get along with your father-in-law. He's a pretty cool guy. He's really into my comic books too. He's very excited about that. When I told him that I was doing the remaster and that his copy was going to be like extremely rare, he got really excited about that, and that made me happy. I was like, "Oh, cool." So, but like I said, uh, the books are well on their way and everything. Just the holidays, it kind of slowed me up a little bit because slows everybody up. But we're still plugging away. We're still getting there. Carlos has been working on other stuff in the meantime because he's kind of at an impasse because we don't want to start on issue 4 yet. We've already finished issue 3. I just haven't had time to letter it yet because I've been dealing with all the issue 2 stuff, which is fine. But Carlos has been doing extra bonus art and whatnot. Anyways, he's been doing some pretty cool stuff. I don't want to show anything off just yet, but excuse me. But I don't want to show anything off just yet. But there's the stuff we've been posting on Twitter. Uh, we've did like I guess an homage. I'm not sure what you would call it because it's not really a parody. Because if it were a parody, it would be making fun of the source material, at least in my opinion. But we took like the AC/DC Highway to Hell cover and replaced it with Otis and characters from the book. Carlos has done the same thing with the Black and Blue. I think that's the Stones album, Black and Blue. Yeah, and we did that one with Sven and the two zombie cops from issue 2. And and there's been other stuff. He's done one for the Queen 2 album where it's like them in the black, and you got Freddie Mercury down like that or whatever, where he's actually kind of looking up. But he's got Otis in that one. Um, Working on some other stuff, just cool promo material shit that we think would look cool on a T-shirt. Just cool stuff, really, at least in my opinion, because it's all stuff I'm asking them to do. I'm just trying to get some extra stuff out there before we really get on issue get started on issue 4. Among other things, I also am working on rolling out with a Carlos and I are working on putting a kids book together as well, because our thinking is, once I get this stuff settled and I'm actually back to normal, um, is once since it is taking us 3 months to do a comic, we could do a kids book with 12 illustrations and 12 pages of words to go along with them, which he can do up 12 simplified illustrations like that. So we're gonna try to do kids books too, I guess. And after, on top of that, I'm also looking into working with another artist who wants to co-write. And we've been talking about everything, but we're not getting started until January, I think is what he said. Um, but we're going to be doing, it's pretty much going to be a porn book. I'm not going to try to cut it either way. It's going to have all kinds of nasty fucking shit and sexy shit. And if you're into that kind of thing, it's going to have everything you would probably want in it. Uh, and it's also going to have a decent story because, that's kind of the part that I'm in charge of is the story part. He'll be in charge of all the lewd art. But yeah, I guess I'll do everything. I'll do kids' books. I'll do kind of PG-13 books, I guess Otis would be, even though I cuss in it. And I want to do the really naughty books. So I'm going to cover all the bases. Make sure to get every sale. But it should be fun. I mean, I'm excited about the porno book, and I'm excited about the kids book too. I mean, they both have their different. I don't know. It's hard to to explain the feeling that I get when I'm working on projects that I really enjoy. It's a warm and fuzzy feeling, and it just makes you happy. Anyways, issue 3 is done, so as soon as I wrap up and get Otis 2 shipped out, I'm going to go ahead and letter that. Once I letter that, I'm actually giving it to all of our backers. Well, I'm not giving them a physical copy, but I will send all of the backers of issue 2 um, a copy, a PDF of issue 3 before I even do a campaign for it, which that's kind of my way of saying, sorry it took me a while. Here's the third issue PDF. You'll get it before we even launch the campaign. First dibs. Plus, the campaign for issue 2 was essentially raising money for issue 3. So they kind of paid for it anyways. So it'd be cool. I think it's going to be neat. Uh, I think they'll appreciate that. They seem to. The reception on it's been pretty good. And I like it. I like sending out my PDFs and people enjoying stuff. It makes me feel good. I'm not in this for the money, folks. I'm in this for the feel goods. I like knowing that I've, did my job. And even if only one person says they like my comic book, that's enough. That's all I need. That one person and it's mission accomplished. I've already had one person DM me privately telling me that they really enjoyed issue 2. And I was shocked. I was like, whoa, okay, cool. Um, I'm still not sure how to handle that, but after that one, I was like, okay, mission accomplished. I'm not going to worry about whether or not it's good at this point. I mean, I still appreciate more feedback, of course, but like, that's it. That's all I wanted. That's all I expected out of it. Um, and I hope to make more. I hope to get more experiences like that where, somebody just likes it enough to where they just shoot me a message and they're like, dude, this was really fun. Like, I can't wait to see where it's going to go. And I can't wait to see where it's going to go either. I mean, I've got most of it plotted out and everything, but, still. Especially with the way I write, shit changes a lot because as you're writing, the story kind of takes a life on it of its own. It's more like driving a carriage to a degree where yeah, you're in control, you have the reins, but the story is your horse and it may do what you want it to do, but it may not. It may veer off fucking course. And that's what I like about writing sometimes too. I like that kind of unpredictable nature that you can get yourself into where sometimes you'll paint yourself into a corner and you'll have to think of something really weird that you would have never thought of to get yourself out. I don't know, I enjoy it. It's fun. And that's the best part. That's the best reason to do art is because you enjoy it, not because you're getting paid, not because people are gonna like you, but because you like doing it. If you don't like doing it, what the fuck are you doing? I mean, I see a lot of people pissing and moaning to some degree, and I don't get it. Um, I get the frustration of not getting traction and not getting interactions and stuff like that, and your book, despite what people say, isn't taking off as it is. See, that can be said of a number of creators. There's a lot of talent out there that hasn't taken off. But, and it's good to poke fun at that once in a while too, like posting the memes where, it's that guy burned in the fucking folder, and it's like, here's my comic. And he's like, I don't want a fucking solution. I want to bitch about Marvel and DC. So it's fun to make fun of those people, but, you know, at least for me, despite my frustrations, I try not to on Twitter because at least the way I see it is, especially from a comic standpoint, from a creator, you're there to entertain people, and it's no good to come out with some kind of negative energy. Like you always got to come out there and be like balls up, act like everything's a huge fucking accomplishment. Be like, dude, I wiped my ass today. Fucking right on. Like, you know, but you got to watch the melancholy bit on there because you don't want to bring an air of negativity despite whatever you're doing. If you can't have confidence in yourself, at least try to have confidence in the art. But, you know, some folks do things differently. Some folks air everything on there, and that's okay too. It's whatever works. We all have to find our own path. My path may not work for somebody else, and it may for somebody else. Who knows? But that's the fun thing. There's no rules. I mean, we could sit here and pretend all day like we all know what we're talking about. We all know marketing and logistics, and we know the ins and outs. We know psychiatry or psychology. We know how to read our audience, or we know how to do this or that. Or, but the thing is, it's like nobody's wrong. I mean, to a degree, I mean, you can be wrong. You can take like 40 grand and never come out with a comic. You can do that, I suppose. I don't think it's legal. I would not advise to do that. That is not a good thing to do. But I don't know. Uh, And I'm not necessarily bitching about people, but I find it kind of funny how in the indie comics community everybody's kind of like an expert. Yet nobody knows what the fuck they're doing most of the time. Because if they were like, I don't know. It's gonna sound like I'm being hateful, and I'm not. I kind of chuckle at it a little bit, and I know I'm being stupid. I know I'm making mistakes. I'm supposed to. That's the point. I'm fail faster. Like you can't get good at something until you fail at it enough. And that's the approach that I take. Like I'm just storming the gates, man. I'm just going in all in, just Leroy Jenkins, and seeing what fucking sticks. And if something doesn't stick, maybe I'll think about, reworking it and moving on. But, anyways, getting back to the point. I know I'm not an expert. I'm not going to tell anybody that they're doing something incorrectly. I'll give you advice if you would like, if anyone would. I'll be more than happy to espouse the wisdom that I have gained thus far, but there's still a lot of wisdom out there that I'm still needing to collect too. And I think we all need to realize that. Stop taking all the shenanigans so goddamn seriously. It's fucking comic books, man. You know what another word for comic books is? Funny books. They're fucking. What's with all this pressure, man? I don't get it. Anyways, I don't want to harp too much on it. And I'm not talking about anybody specifically. Uh, I'm sure I'll get a message from somebody and they'll be like, "Oh, were you talking about so and so or something like that?" No, I'm not. I'm talking in general. There's a lot of people that I follow that are creators, and so I'm just talking in general, like as an observer. But I love to see people succeed out there doing their thing, though. Like that's the best part is to see somebody fucking win. Even if it's not somebody you know, you're like they fucking made it. Because that gives. I keep looking over here because the wife has the cat. But yeah, I'm talking about you, Eric. But you know how it is. Like somebody's gonna be like, "Why were you like vaguely talking about me?" You're like, "I wasn't. I was just talking in general." Like sometimes I do get messages like that. They're like, "Why?" Are you? And I'm like, I haven't even thought about this person in like ages. And I'm like, well, at this point, like sometimes if the shoe fits, like sometimes people read too much into shit and maybe if it describes you, maybe you're just an asshole, I guess. I don't know. But I usually don't do that fake shit. Like I'll call out somebody directly, but there's always like I don't know, there was something about signatures and somebody was upset that I offered to give to sign this one guy's book for free. And I'm like, I just give signatures. I'm not going to charge for signatures. I'm like, nobody knows who the fuck I am. Why would I charge for signatures? It doesn't make any sense. And even if people did know who I am, who fucking cares? You want my signature? I'm happy to give it to you. I love signing books. So, but he's like, and it was all, no, you have to charge for it. You have to put value on your name and yada yada. I'm like, okay, that I was like, you charge for your signature. That's cool beans, cool. If people actually pay extra for that, cool, awesome. You made that extra sale. I'm not interested in that extra sale. I just send out in the survey. There's a question on each one for everybody who got a physical. Do you want me to sign your book? And some people said yes, some people said no. So that's how I do it. I'm not going to charge extra for it. And if you do, and people actually pay for it, cool, good. I'm not telling you not to do that. But I think it was upset because I guess they're mad because there's a lot of other people like me who don't charge for signatures. So it's really hard for them to gain traction and get people to pay for it. That's my guess. I don't, but maybe like I understand why big pros charge for signatures because you got to think like with Rob Liefeld, he's probably got he's got thousands of literal people. Like the whole fucking convention probably wants his signature. Do you think would you want to sit there and sign off like fucking 100,000 different fucking comic books over the weekend, working like a slave for nothing? No. You charge for it to thin out the herd. I understand that. I get that. It's a good tactic. Kind of keeps the numbers lower, but it still lets them sign shit for people. And when you're that big, like, you can't appease everybody either. Like, that's just not fucking possible, dude. And no, not unless you're like multiple man or some shit. Maybe you're fuck, what was the mirror guy? I think he was like in fuck. I know he was in Suicide Squad. I think he was one of the Flash's villains. Fucking Mirror Master or some shit. Maybe if you're him, you could like clone yourself a bunch and sign all those fucking books. I don't give a shit if people make money off of it. Like secondary, that just means more people are gonna want my books. So like if they get my signature, they gotta buy the book. Yeah, Mirror Master. That's who I'm thinking of. But yeah, man, like I don't know. There's a lot of shenanigans in the indie. Like too many people. Like it's cool to talk about your process and what works for you, and kind of throw stuff out there. But I would always advise to make sure you don't sound like a know-it-all when you do it. Like leave room for change. Leave room for error. Like I don't know, just don't make it sound like you got a fucking PhD is what I'm getting at. There- There's a lot of different methods that work for a lot of different people. There's nothing wrong with most of them. I see people succeeding in their own ways. Um, I'm managing to do it. I'm going the route of no self censorship, none of the shenanigans. I say things that people don't like. Uh, I don't care. Uh, if people get upset about stupid words, because that's all they are just words. Um, and that's the foundation that I have built for myself, for my brand. And I've also got friends who are doing things a different route. They're staying more kid friendly. They're doing this, they're doing that. My thing is, this is my expression. This is me doing what I want to do, when I want to do it, how I want to do it. And that's it. I'm not here to strive to be anybody's. I'm not striving to be what anybody else thinks I should be. If there's somebody out there who thinks I should be doing something else, well, you should be going and getting fucking pussy right now, dude. What the fuck's your problem? You should be getting laid right now instead of worrying about me. Go get a fucking blowjob or something, or if you're like a gay homeless lesbian or something, I don't know. Go scissor with another gay homeless lesbian. I don't give a shit. Do what you want to do. But do something that makes you feel good. Don't be an idiot. I see a lot of people being idiots these days. It is silly. When you police language, or not everybody has the same definition of certain words as you. Words evolve, language changes. Language should be in uninhibited. It really should be. And I'm not saying you should be able to go around making false accusations and lie about people. That's another thing altogether. There's a big difference between free speech and, slander, libel, all kinds of shit. Um, when when it when it impacts somebody else directly, it changes things. It's no longer the same fucking thing. But if you're just minding your own business and, you happen to say a certain slur, Who fucking cares? Why are you mad about it? Why are you wasting this energy on this stupid rage? And the only way to truly, because think about it, you know, if you just ignore the words like we've been doing, it's always going to be there. It's always going to be a fucking problem. What I say is just rip the fucking band aid off, man. Expose it to the sun. And then get it to a point where like, think of Nazi. Nazi doesn't really have that much of an impact anymore. When somebody calls you a Nazi, do you even flinch anymore? I remember a time where you used to flinch. You were like, oh shit, man, I'm not a fucking Nazi. Now you're like, oh, haha, you think I'm a Nazi. Okay. Like, think about how the impact of that word has been devalued because of its use. And it's not even a positive word. Now, apply that. Say people were saying, like wetback for Mexicans instead of that. Okay, it's just a word. You devalue the meaning of it if you just let people just go nuts. If you just don't let it bother you, you take away all the power of that silly combination of letters for that for some reason upsets you. I don't care what people call me. Like, you know, I've been called honky turkey. I I've been called shithead. I don't like being called shithead. Can I run around and get mad and upset when people say shithead? No, I can't because that's silly. I just don't let it bother me, man. And I understand there's all this fucking historical shit, but you know what? That wasn't you. That's not now. My family's been fucked over too. Fuck, man. We almost killed the Indians. We came like this fucking close to wiping out like all the fucking tribes. Think about that for a moment. And it's not just like people. None of us did that. You didn't do it. I didn't do it. It's the way it is, man. It's just life. It's history. Shit changes. The best thing to do is just to move forward and to look forward and to do better. But some people don't want to do better. Some people just want to drag other people down, and that's okay too, I guess. Those people can do what they please. Only thing I gotta say to that extent is a lot of people have tried to bring me down to some degree. A lot of people have tried. A lot of big people, a lot of little people, mostly just retarded people. Uh, and I'm still here. I'm still making comics, and people are still buying my book because I just care about the books. I'm not, I don't understand all this stupid nonsense. Why does politics have to be involved in anything? I got people fucking questioning me. They're like, oh, he champions this kind of art. I'm like, no, I don't. Have you, a person, I've said that people have a right to publish whatever they want because it's all art, it's all fictional. I don't give a shit. You do what you want to do. That's on you. I'm doing what I want to do. And that's a comic book about a redneck who's undead and he drinks. He might smoke. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna have him smoke or not. Kind of retarded, so I don't know if he's gonna smoke. I may give him a stogie once in a while just for shits and giggles. I know. I'm still here. I'm still doing my thing. I'm just here to do my comic books, and that's pretty much it. I'm not in all the other gay shenanigans that's been mucking about. I'm not into cults. Don't want to be in your cult. Just want to make my comic books and enjoy the one life that I have. Because that's all any of us have. You've only got one, man. You don't get a mulligan. You can't be on your deathbed and hit a fucking reset button and be like, nah, I fucked up. So I make the best of it, and that's what I'm doing. I hope everybody else ends up doing the same, making the best of it, getting themselves into better places, healthier places. And I hope my friends succeed. I hope all their comics do really well. I really do. I hope they do better than I'll ever do. But, anyways, I just wanted to stream for a hot minute. Not too long, but, you know. But, anyways, I will catch you guys on the flip side. I may come back later with Mrs. Skinny and play some video games with her, but I'm not certain with Thanksgiving coming up. I know they were already kind of prepping some shit upstairs, so we shall see.